Ah. Oh wait, I forgot I have to speak on this thing, don't I? Welcome. It's Division 3 racing in Budapest, Hungary. My throat is not very good for today, but we just have to make do with it, don't we? Right. Safa. And then this is a new guy, R10, racing in Ferrari for his HDR debut. Everyone else has been around the block before. We've got Angie in Q3. Hello, Stein. It's nice to see you again. We've got Angie in, well, in Q3, but when it comes to full qualies, is he always in Q3? Actually, this season he has been in the top 10, so we'll give him that. Then it's Web, who has to surely be in the fight for the win. It's Division 3. He was D1 last season, and now he's all the way down here. If he doesn't put up a fight for the win, it's going to be pretty embarrassing. And that's Florian exiting the pit lane to be the first one out on the track. Roy's still in the pit lane, trying to throw away Williams' Constructors' Championship hopes by getting a points deduction last week. Lem is subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 8 months on an 8-month streak. Holy shit, that is a long streak. Cheers. Love the support, mate. Thank you very much, Lem. And you are racing today, right? Yeah, you are. Good luck for the race, mate. Stream's off to a good start, and we've got a few cars out on the track, and it's Hessam as the second car, and it is Florian well out in front right now, way ahead, and he'll be the first one to start his qualifying lap. Roy is still in the pits. Curtis also still in the pits. Web, Arjun and Safa are also still in the pits. And it's going to be Florian to round the final corner and start off the first hot lap of the evening here at Hungary. It's daytime in the game, but if you're in the UK, like this league is set in for most people, then it is getting towards the evening now. The sun's starting to go down, and if you're Dutch, like a lot of the grid is, then the sun's probably already gone down. Big oversteer. He's already given up on that lap. Next one is Hessam, who now starts his lap. I thought he'd invalidated before the lap started, but what we can see from him is good curbing at turn 1, using a lot of the curb. What about for the Americans? It's still the daytime for you. The eagle is still flying. Ah! What time would it be? Then I'm gonna... Oh, big country, so lots of time zones. So, a couple hours. 2:38. Alright, it's 7:38 here in the UK, so 5-hour difference. You've got a lovely mid-afternoon to drive now. That's pretty nice. So you can do plenty after the race as well. Just have some nice evening plans or something. Hessam 53.6, and he's almost invalidated the lap. Now, I'm pretty sure he was off the road, but the game has allowed him to carry on, so he'll carry it on. He'll carry it on. Florian's lap is not representative, so Don't expect it to stay on pole for any longer than a few seconds, as Hassam now goes pole. But 15.1, I definitely expected a better lap than that. And Angie coming across the final corner can be that better lap. Goes pole, but only by a tenth. I thought there'd be a much bigger gap between Angie and Hassam. There is a much bigger skill difference there to be found. But it looks like Angie's first run pretty conservative. Oliver now to cross the line, and 8 tenths off the pace of Hassam and Angie. So, lots of time to find. Roy has a quali ban. Oh yeah, I forgot that. At least Roy remembered. He has 2 quali bans, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. Roy's in spectator mode, so now I can hear him because I forgot to mute everyone. Trixie goes pole by 1.5 tenths of a second. And next car to cross the line is going to be the Ferrari of Arjun. Where can he go on his debut? P3, just ahead of Hassam, just behind Angie. So he's a solid pace driver, not just here to make up numbers, he is here to compete. And Florian's next lap is pretty slow because he hasn't had the new tyre feeling to get the max pace out of the car. It's R-Web on a hot lap, both McLarens on a hot lap actually. He's gone very deep into the chicane, and he's gonna ruin his lap pretty much in Sector 2. Here I go. Watch out, P9, says Lem. Good luck. Lem exiting the pits now as R-Web is into Sector 3, and a 53.7 is not bad. There's 2 McLarens racing at the front this weekend. Well, that's what they're aiming for. They used to have a pretty dead Division 3, but Trixie and R-Web. The Trixie transfer has breathed new life into Papaya. And R-Web coming across the line now. Goes onto the front row. And McLaren 1-2 is exactly what Williams do not want to hear. And that is music to the ears of Ice Cream. Who's probably watching, probably not watching. We'll see. Hello, Ice Cream. Right on cue. How is Diamonds doing? Diamonds is doing very good. Throat is not good. But positive attitude, feeling good, just not actually good. Right, Lemon's on his out lap. Is anyone on a hot lap right now? Why are you hiding from me? You need to come down to my ends, mate. Gotta rep the BR. I can't leak. I can't dox myself. Sorry, almost dox myself. I want to see if your watch size same as mine. It's not. I'm good, but I'm not, you're saying. Yeah, I'm happy, but I'm not well. I think it's asthma. But I'm feeling good, my health just isn't. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, I'm coming into the pits now. And Curtis up to 4th. Lemon starting his first hot lap of the daytime, because it's America! And it's daytime for them at around 2:42 p.m. I think you're dead. Okay. Cheers. Cheers, Jeff. Lemon into turn 2 and sweeping around towards turn 3 now. And takes it nice and flat and uses up most of the battery before he gets to turn 4 up the hill. That's pretty much the battery strat you want to use because you don't really need to use any battery in Sector 2. It's just long, windy corners that is going to come up to him very, very quickly. This tight chicane, which R-Web completely bottled, but still got into the front row, just showing how much more time there is left. Roy is saying hi in chat, and I'm pretty sure he can hear my comms, so I don't have free will for the next 11 minutes when it comes to speaking about him and Williams. Lemon missing the apex at 12, that will cost him a few hundredths of time. Towards the penultimate corner, going a bit wide. Out of the final corner, he said, P9, here I come. Can he beat his objective that he set out before he left the pits? Lehman to cross the line, and he goes P8, so he has beaten his objective. Well done, Lehman. Nagrom, P9. So he gets ahead of Nagrom, and Oliver is still in last place, and he's about to do his second lap. Roy says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how cooked is he? I'd say 7. I think he can easily make it back to the top 5, but I think he is somewhat cooked. I don't know what onboard. I like this game. You don't even have the game. Oh, first gear. That's not how you're supposed to take turn 1. And he's bailed out of the lap already. Is it Angie on the lap now? Yes, it is. Lock up into turn 1. I do, you little bitch. So, okay. But you know drive HDR. You keep it realistic. Yeah, I'd call it more under-promise, over-deliver. But realism, definitely on the right tracks, I guess. Because you were close to your objective. Half a tenth up from Angie. Now his objective will be a little bit more ambitious. He's going to try go for pole position this evening. Angie. Angie, quite the Williams sweat within the Williams super team. Less of a super team recently, considering their pretty poor point showing last week out in Australia. But Angie will now be looking to rectifying it. And into turn 12. Gets it hooked up nicely onto the apex. And now turn 13 awaits, locking up those tyres aggressively. And now out onto the final corner. Keep it tight and narrow. Don't hit the pit wall because that is right on the apex. And now to the line we go. Angie goes pole, and it is way sizable. 0.3 of a second buffer. Angie has put himself in clear daylight ahead of the rest of the field there. Trixie is going to have to find a lot of time to beat that lap. And R-Web should be able to find time because he absolutely botched the the slow chicane at the start of Sector 2. So he should have a lot of time to find as he now heads towards turn 12. Late on the throttle, carries a huge amount of speed. Ice Cream saying which McLaren will take pole. I think it's Angie pole. And Arjun up to the front row as well on debut. It's not going to be a McLaren on pole, I don't think so. R-Web out of the final corner. And doesn't improve even. Doesn't improve his position. We need more Sauber kick fans. We are begging. We will do anything. Get a podium. I'll be very big fan. Or just a top 5, you know. Because Roy's out with a quali ban. Sefa is liable to disconnect as... What is he doing? Okay. Kessam now on his lap. Sefa out of the way. Kessam now sweeping in towards turn 2. And now turn 3 is easy flat for any driver on the field. He hasn't used much of his battery. He has way more battery than other drivers have got, and he is a 10th up on his lap, but that was a pretty poor turn 5. And now ahead towards the turn 6-7 chicane, the one that R-Web botched on his lap. Gets it perfectly right, and now it's just flat out relentless S's, and that V-Carb better stay out of the way because Hessam is on his lap. Let's see how he does there. Not impeding yet, and in fact he's giving him somewhat of a slipstream, and it's now 0.4 of a second. And the V-Carb is apparently blind because he's still not out of the way. It's a bit dodgy. Very, very dodgy. Hessam now towards the final corner. Is he going to take the run to the line cleanly? He has missed the apex, gone a bit wide, but he has got way more battery for the line. And up to the front row! That's a much better lap from Hessam. And I thought there was even more time there. And that is a challenge to pole that Angie probably was not expecting, considering the pace of the Mercedes this season. JW Curtis, half a tenth up as we head now towards the final corner of the racetrack. Sweeping it right. And now onto the start-finish straight. Very, very short run up to P4. Wasn't Hassan driving for Ferrari last season? Yes, he was. But the driver draw drew him to Mercedes, so he is now with me. I'm probably worse than D3 in quali because you don't know how it works. You drive the car as fast as you can for one lap. Is Sefer on the lap? Yes, he is. Is it a good lap? We're about to find out. It isn't. I can already tell. Or is it? I was looking at that timing page, and 53.6 is actually pretty solid. I thought it was a bad lap, but I don't think it is anymore. Sefa might be in there. Oh, Sefa spun! And that was the comms curse at full effect there. I don't even know how he spin, but I think he's just lost it under braking. It's like pulling the handbrake on, and the car just suddenly locks its tyres and spins. Torres, says Roy, the man starting last. Nagrom cutting a corner. Nagrom cutting more corners. Anyone want to take a note of that? It's Nagrom though, who gives a shit? Nagrom cutting more corners. Roy's gonna report him. Nagrom cutting even more corners. Isn't he a fucking clown, mate? He is such a clown. It's actually faster to stay on the track through that section, and he's still cutting the corner. Farming simulator in it. He is so stupid. So stupid. He's literally just collecting grass for fun. Or just clip it from your current account, Roy. That's how Twitch works. You've had a quali ban this whole time. It's not like you got anything else to do. Florian. In P7. And he spun onto the grass. He wants to play Farming Simulator as well. Yes, you can. Just click the clip button. I haven't... Clipping is enabled on HDR. Torres again, says Roy, the man starting last. Don't throw stones in glass houses, bitch. That was too feminine. Arjun in the Ferrari is the only man out on track right now. He has the entire circuit to himself. Hey, it's the guy trying to send me scam Steam links on Discord. Hello, Foreco. Can you get your Discord account back? You're weird. Or maybe you just like sending... Arjun weaving his tyres properly. That's the way you warm up the tyres on this game. No one figured out how to warm up the tyres until pretty recently, where you had to go just full speed, flat out weaving on the straights is the best way to warm the tyres. You can never get proper tyre temperature. Roy doesn't have one quali ban, he has 2 quali bans. Arjun now, into the first corner we go, braking at around 80 meters, and that is perfectly into the corner. This will be his final lap, and a lap that anyone else can challenge after he's done it. But he has the full track to himself, and I don't think there will be traffic for the second sector. He might get a bit of traffic towards the end of the lap, but it will be close, so let's see how this goes. The next car up ahead is a Ferrari, so you'd expect that your teammate would get out of the way, but it's Nagrom, so you can never really trust him. He is 1/10.5 up, and it could be Arjun on pole for the Ferrari at this rate. He is on his way, doing pretty well, and let's see how he sweeps through the S's pretty well. And again, nice and flat. Could have used a bit more track there, but it's alright for D3. Nice and flat out now. And what's the sector split? 53-3. He is absolutely flying on this lap. And it looks like Arjun might have the capability to challenge for pole here. Angi's time is looking to be in trouble, but luckily for him, he is doing his final run much later than Arjun is, so he will get the best track evolution. And Arjun to the line, absolutely nails it, pins the throttle to the line, and he can't get pole. He had a really poor Sector 3 and Sector 2, and it's only going to be P3 at best for the Ferrari. And Hessam is slightly up on the time. Angi is in the first sector. Hessam is now in Sector 2, only 8 thousandths, and he's missed the chicane, and it's going to really hurt him going into the S's, and I don't think he's going to improve on this lap now, because he's absolutely fumbled the second sector already. How many rounds after this? 4. There's 4 rounds after Hungary, and 6 tenths down. It won't be Hessam on pole, and it will be Angi who can try challenge his own pole position time. Lame is retired for whatever reason on the racetrack. Not sure he should do that. Angi now on his pole lap, possibly. Sefer up to the front row, couldn't take that pole time away from him. Fexen on his first and only run goes P7, and Angi, can he extend his pole time? It's going to be really tight for if he can even improve. Crossing the line now. He doesn't even need to finish the lap, he's already got it secured, but just for the flex improves his pole time. But it's a Mercedes 2-3, so that is a very underrated performance alongside Angi, who now takes pole position for the Williams team. And it's a nice sight to see. Mercedes up there, fighting for P3 in the Constructors. Angie fighting for P1 in the Constructors. You did your lap already. You were past where people on hot lap should be. I mean, technically not allowed, but I'm not going to report it. If someone else does, though, can't defend you, because Hassam in Jeddah got a quali ban for the on-track retirement, even though it was checkered flag anyway. Second, front row for Sefa, and P3 for Hassam, and pole position for Angie again. Williams have a knack of taking poles around here. They've got a full sandwich of the grid, actually. P1 and P last. Right, I'm gonna get a quick drink. Guys, ready up, like 57? Yeah. Good luck. I think it is going to be a dry race. I have not heard from anyone that there will be rain or anything. So my assumption is that it's going to be a straightforward dry race. Ready up at 57, yeah, that's what Howard said as well. Right. I'm going to go to ChatGPT really quickly just to find a possible alternative for lights out and away we go. I don't want to say it. Can you find an alternative for lights out and away we go? Okay, let's see what ChatGPT suggests. Oh, these are actually... Oh my god, they actually have... ChatGPT is cooking me some very, very good last-minute comms ideas. Wait, Lem redeemed ear rape. Lem wants a commentator curse for everyone except me. Do I have to ear rape this start, though? You know what, fuck it. And also, everyone except Lem. I think everyone except Lem is going to have a really good and smooth race today. Or... 5 red lights! And we are underway for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Is that a disconnected car off the line? I think it might be. And Trixie is straight into the lead of the race. Is that disconnects? I can't even tell. But there's a lot of ghosting going on right now. A lot of ghosted cars, actually. It is completely glitched, I think. Yep, this whole lobby is just completely glitched. Everything is ghosted. Is that a lobby mistake or what? Can't even tell what's going on anymore. Trixie is said to be in the lead, but he is clearly not. What has happened here? The order on the panel is just completely broken. Right, now the order has reset itself back, and what we've now somehow got is Arjun up into second place, Angie on pole, Fexin in last, Oliver, and then Sefa completely fell off the field for whatever reason. Dropped 9 places off the start. That's not looking good. Roy made up 3 places from the back. Lehman up to P9. He should be happy with that. He's working his way to get the minor points, and he'll be very happy with that. Everyone except Lem. Oh! I was just about. The comms curse worked the wrong way. I said everyone except Lem, and it actually came true. That Lem has already spun, and he's already ruined his race before we've even completed lap 1. It's going to take a safety car now to get back into this race. I'm afraid the comms curse did not work as intended. It's a dangerous spell to use. Trixie and Curtis's deltas are completely broken. Sefa is in 10th, Roy is in 9th. Nagrom now P8. Then it is Florian, R-Web. Curtis and Trixie are still listed weirdly. Is it Trixie being listed as a lap up on everyone? Yeah, this lobby is broke. Damage may be off. Is it off? If so, I'd like to go for a restart. What has happened to this lobby? Okay. So, apart from a few assists they were supposed to turn off because R-Web's dumb. No, he's actually smart. Okay, he has completely fucked up these settings. Safety cars on increased for whatever fucking reason. Damage is fucking off. Low fuel mode on. Okay, what the fuck? Yeah, we need to. I'd like to call for a race. I'm just gonna. What the fuck has he done? One sec. It's not confirmed if there's a restart yet, because I don't have... not sure if I have the power to do that. What the fuck? Alright, so... I'm gonna just... Okay. What do I do now? Angie continues to lead the race. Not much is going on race-wise. We'll just talk about the race as I try to multitask, figure this out. Arjun getting into the slipstream now. Getting closer, down the inside. And Arjun surges into the lead. Angie staying alongside him now as they head out of turn 1. And it's going to be close. But Arjun just about stays ahead. Fuck, we're past the first 3 laps. It's going to be last available timing page. Right. 4 laps to 35% race distance. And I'm going to get a quick screenshot of the order. Right. Alright, you know what? I'm calling it. Alright, I've called the restart now. And I've got the order. Everyone can retire. Restarts. Restart. Lobby restart, lads. I've got the timing order, so you wanna restart now? We're past first 3 laps, so it is just... I'll get it quickly. One sec. Right. Now, I've left the lobby just so that whatever happens with the race results is not something I have to see. So there can be no argument that it counts or anything. Just don't want anything post-race. But several lobby settings have been done incorrectly by whoever the host was. And I've got the order for the restart now. And right, we're taking it from lap 4 because we got past the first 3 laps. Yes. Okay, now I'm going to set up a new lobby. Right, I'm setting up a new lobby now. Okay. Now, I'm going to set up a lobby where the settings aren't going to be fucked up. Hassam, I'm waiting for you in the new lobby.
Oh, I'm coming.
Are you happy with your setup?
Yes, it's good.
Alright.
Those who found.
You just use the same one if you're happy then.
Okay, okay.
Right, who is left to invite? Arjun, Angie, Hassam, Trixie, Curtis, Arweb, Florian, Roy, Dagrom, Suffer, Fixin, Oliver, Lemon. Okay. Right. All the settings are correct. Right. For this restart, remember it's only 35%, so you'll be on less fuel than for.
I think we could make the medium with the soft floor.
I think the softs should be fine. Softs are very good at Hungary.
Yeah, but you gotta keep them cool,
Yeah.
or you'll die in Sector 2. میلیون دیگه میشه دیگه. آره. 15 میلیون 10 لفت صفر دیگه باید جواب بده طبیعتا. جواب نمیده؟ جواب میده. اوکی. میلیون صاف. بنزین 26 و 26. نه دقیق 26. من چیزی 2 میذارم. من اعتماد ندارم. باش. تو دیارس میتونی سیف کنی. این هم هست. من 26 دارم. بکنی هم لیفتن کوست رو کن دیگه حتما که نباید همش پوش کنی. من آدم این چیزا نیستم. Go for get the disease. اینی که گفتم چه معنی میداره؟ یه بسیار شما کنم. یه هم میلیونه. قبول نیست. من آخرین لحظه نفر اول بودم. ایوه. منم فرانت رو بودم. آره با هارد میاد. بخاطر هارد صاف. 100% آره پوشته میشه. آره فلکسین اولیور اینا همه پوشته میشن. جدی.
Alright, let's get the show on the road then. Literal road. Mate. Alright. You guys can start now. We're waiting. And take two for the Hungarian Grand Prix in 5 lights time. Go, go, go! Arjun gets a great start. Angie gets a lot of wheel spin off the line. Hessam might be alongside him going into the turn 1, and he is going to be just about. Angie holding the inside line. Trixie spots a gap, but gets clipped by his teammate Arweb, who they almost come to blows, and Hessam now gets ahead of Angie. This is going to be a crucial move if he can pull it off, and he does. Hessam has passed Angie up to second place, and Arjun keeps the lead in the Ferrari, and he might just be able to get a race win on debut. Very, very good start from Hessam. He's up into second place. Trixie fourth. Oh, and fifth. Nagrom has had an amazing start, actually. He's up 3 positions already. He's absolutely flying in the Ferrari. And he's going to be pretty much the cork in the bottle for everyone behind him now, because he's got Roy, Sefer in P8, made up 2 places. Florian has lost 2, and he's dropped another one to Fexen. He's going straight on at the chicane, and that's not how you take it. Now, Nagrom obviously starting on the soft tyres. You have to if you're the skill level of Nagrom. And we'll spectate Nagrom for a little bit and see his exploits in trying to gain places. Medium tyres are the order for the front runners. Then it's R-Web. He might be the cork in the bottle, actually. And Nagrom will be able to keep up with him for a little bit because of his soft tyre advantage. So this is going to be highly intriguing. Nagrom riding on board. And for once, we might see Nagrom on the attack if he can get a good run, but at the moment he can't. So he's just going to have to sit back and wait for a little bit longer. But lockups are everywhere right now. And Sefer is going alongside Roy. It's Mercedes versus Williams again. Two rivals on the track. Roy into the second corner. Sefer trying to go all the way around the outside. And what a move that is from Sefer. Roy put the defense up to maximum. And Sefer went all the way around the outside. What a move. Up to P7. And that is a critical move, as Roy is one of the fastest drivers in the field. I need a replay of the move after the race, because that was simply brave. Throttle kept in as Roy tried to squeeze him out all the way to the outside. Very good racing from the pair of them. And Sefer up into 7th, and next guy to chase down is Nagrom. It's an entire DRS train up and down the entire field. You'd think that Hungary would have a bit more field spread considering the short DRS zones, all the long sweeping corners, but Dirty Air just doesn't exist on this game, it seems, so drivers can follow so closely. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'd say it's a good thing for this track, bad at other places, and the battery's going to start burning now because Hessam has DRS and the potential for an offensive charge against Arjun. He's not going to get him this lap, but all he needs to do is get gradually close enough and maybe go for an undercut. And that is Sefer going for the second move. Lap in a row. Sefer past Nagrom. Nagrom's going to try hold it though. And he does have the pace to hold it. He bangs wheels with the Mercedes. And now manages to actually hold it on around the outside. That is very dangerous racing Nagrom most of the time. But this time it's clean. And this time Sefer is up into 6th place. And Nagrom is now going to be holding up Roy for sure. That is a V-Carb of Florian out of the race very early on. He's given up on it already. So something clearly went very, very wrong for him. Now Grom's missed the chicane, and we're going to see him fall more and more into the clutches of Roy, who cuts a corner and potentially might get himself in trouble with track limits very soon. Roy takes it easy flat. Now Grom is already struggling. Roy might have another track limits already. But it's going to be Roy versus Nagrom. They have quite a bit of beef off the track. On the track, their pace is vastly different, so on-track rivalries don't really exist between them. But we can start to see a spark from it, because Roy now has to get past Nagrom on the track. And Nagrom actually got great traction out of the last few corners. He's using up all his battery, but so is Roy. They're both absolutely burning their battery. And Nagrom is going to maybe go defensive into turn 1. No, he's not, and Roy can't actually get past, because Fexen goes for an audacious lunge on the attack against Roy, and Fexen gets past him, and Roy is just going backwards in that Williams. And this is somewhat hilarious and somewhat sad to see. Roy, he's meant to be a front runner, but he's absolutely got no grip this race, or just not got the racecraft to get past even Nagrom. And Nagrom holding off Fexen still. Fair play to him. Nagrom goes off the track, but I told you he'd be the cork in the bottle for the cars behind, and Roy is completely stuck. Fexen got past him. He's actually going backwards, not forwards. And Fexen on the exit. What a switchback on Nagrom. And Roy now gives Nagrom a little tap. Goes for the switchback through the S's. Fexen's going to get away pretty quickly at this rate if Roy keeps trying to pester Nagrom in corners where you don't make a pass. He's already made another mistake. And now Curtis could be on his gearbox. But for now, Curtis stays firm. And no moves available for him. Nagrom is already struggling once more, but he'll get the DRS. He has enough battery to defend with, not a lot, but it should be enough. JW Curtis is going alongside Roy as well. Is Roy on a default setup, or has he got a massive lack of skill? He is so slow this race. JW Curtis now gets past Roy. He's dropped down to 10th place. I can't believe what I'm watching here. Roy is struggling like crazy. And now going for the switchback. No possibility of a pass. Hessam past Sefer. Sefer up into P5. Hessam in 4th. Trixie is onto the podium now. So we missed a lot of action at the front. And Sefer now gets past Hessam. That was definitely coordinated between the regime. Roy is stuck behind Curtis now. Curtis will pass Nagrom and Roy is still going to be stuck there. This is absolute comedy. Who's the next guy to get past? It's going to be Oliver. Roy focusing on trying not to get killed by his own driving. And Curtis has to back off. Nagrom had the brakes on him. And Arjun versus Angie now for the lead of the race. Arjun's held on for the first 5 laps. And he took the lead off Angie a couple laps prior during the main race. And now into the mini race. Arjun going ultra defensive early on. But he has left the outside line open. That is a major defensive mistake from the Ferrari car. And now on the exit, Angie gets the exit. No, he doesn't actually. He hasn't got the speed on him right now. Going defensive was a massive mistake still, I maintain. Because Trixie is now into the battle. And now JW Curtis is past Nagrom. And Roy is still stuck behind him. This is hilarious. The tyre crossover has definitely arrived now. So Roy surely has to pass Nagrom on some point. But Roy insistently still stuck behind Nagrom. Oh, Nagrom goes wide. Oh, this is hilarious. The man supposedly competing for the World Drivers' Championship in Division 3 is now stuck behind the slowest guy in the field and unable to make a move stick. Nagrom goes off the track. Roy might finally get the move done. Is he going to get it done? They bang wheels. Nagrom is forced onto the curb. Roy might be forcing Nagrom off the track. That might be in the steward's room afterwards. Lemon going for a pretty non-existent gap there. And Nagrom is frankly being bullied out there. Roy is just frustrated, and I assume it's going to be in the steward's room afterwards, the way he made that move on Nagrom. And Nagrom now pits. Very, very early pit stop. Oh, he's hit the wall. Now side by side go the race leaders. Angie versus Arjun. Williams versus Ferrari. Angie with the DRS. Angie powers past Arjun and up into the race lead. Trixie gets to follow very, very closely in this battle. Both Mercedes can't get within DRS yet. Sefer is 1.4 seconds back. Arweb just clinging onto the DRS of both regime cars. Fexin not within DRS yet. JW Curtis lost a huge amount of time behind Nagrom. Roy lost even more time behind Nagrom. And you can see the difference between him and Fexin. Because Fexin was behind him at one point, and he managed to get past and completely gap him by 6 seconds. That's how much Nagrom held up Roy. And now Nagrom is in clean air. Down at the back of the grid. And he got wing damage on hard tyres that can easily go to the end, but he has ruined his race for the sake of it. Arjun looks to be losing a bit of touch to Angie this time round. Ferrari could ever use the points that Arjun will bring in this race if he continues the way he is. Roy's into the pit lane, and this is very, very early stop to be making for medium tyres. 10 seconds speeding. Is he here to retire? I wonder, because if you're speeding in the pit lane, there might just be that possibility. Now, what he doesn't realise is if you finish, you get points, but nope, actually he did just get the 10-second time penalty on pure lack of skill. So Roy continues to struggle out on the track and comes out comfortably ahead of Nagrom, but he'll be definitely vulnerable near the end of the race, the way things are headed. Arjun getting gradually closer to Angie, trying to reel himself in very, very slowly, but half a second is sort of the sweet spot gap he's hanging around at. Arweb gets past Hessam. Hessam seems to have given it up on the straight. Oh, what's happened there? So I didn't really see much of a sign of a move, unless Hessam made a major mistake into turn 11. Looks like it was just an easy move on the straight for Arweb. No fault put up. And that's Mercedes down into P6 now. Sefer almost within DRS, but not quite there. And now Arweb will be able to have a go at the next Mercedes car. Sefer has made up 6 places this race, but Arweb can now start cutting into that gap, and it looks satisfying. Getting closer and closer to the red Ineos-sponsored rear wing of that Mercedes. Fexin getting closer to Hessam as well. Both Mercedes are going to be on the defensive come next lap. and both hard tyre runners as well. Fexen made a pretty impressive comeback to get ahead of Nagrom and join the next battle pack, so to speak. It's now being headed by Sefa, but Hessam might be vulnerable into the chicane. Fexen tries nothing there, but on the exit, gets the switchback, and won't go for a move there, but Hessam left the gap open anyway. And now Fexen going on the outside, making a switch through the S's, and what a move that was from Fexen. That's another move of the season for me there. What a move from Fexen. Absolutely caught him lacking through the S's, and you don't see a move there very often, but he somehow made a move work through there. What a smart, clever driving from Fexen to get past Hessam there. Very, very, very elite move from the Aston Martin. Very, very impressive. Hats off if I had one. Aweb gets gradually closer, and Arjun gets close enough to have a go down the inside. Gets the DRS. Truxie might have a go at Angie. He is quite close. And let's see, into the next corner. Is he going to have a go? No, he quite isn't. But Angie remains close on the bumper, so he's not out of touch in this battle yet. Oliver coming into the pit lane. Hessam losing DRS. Arweb, Fexen and Sefa make up now a 3-car battle. Sefa sliding around like Bambi on ice through turn 5. But he is getting within the magical 1 second very gradually. Arweb's hard tyres are now going to really be coming into their own now. It's going to give him a way bigger boost and better ability to use the soft tyres at the end of the race. Sefa going off the road again is losing him time, but even despite that, his other corners are good enough that he can get within DRS and put up a fight for the lead. Let's see if he can do it, because he is now firmly within DRS, and it's going to be 7 cars in 1 second of each other, and one of them pulls the trigger for the undercut. It is Angie into the pit lane, and Truxie has had a major slide on the final corner, and that might leave him vulnerable, or is it going to leave Sefa vulnerable to Arweb? Sefa goes defensive, no he doesn't, and Arweb has to sit back. Won't be a lunge available to him at the moment. Fexen goes very wide into turn 1. Truxie has the DRS for this lap just to keep him steady, and Angie with the undercut. Let's see how effective it can be for him, because Roy now out of the final corner. Does he get ahead of Lem? It's going to be close. No, it's not actually. Roy gets comfortably ahead. But Angie gets out well ahead of Roy. 8.1 seconds. It's not even a contest. Oh, Sefa's onto the grass. Sefa's made a mistake. Sefa, almost into the wall. A major time lost. That's embarrassing. It is now McLaren 2 and 3 with both Williams into the pit lane, and they'll both be going for the overcut. Truxie can't stay within DRS. It might be team order switches coming soon here. And now Arjun and Truxie both respond directly to the undercut from Angie. Aweb and Fexen now take the lead. Hessam stays out for another lap on the mediums. Curtis on the hard tyres as well. Let's see how effective that undercut was for Angie. And Arjun, Truxie in the pits. Any switches? Nope. But it's going to be close. Does Angie pull off the undercut? Yes, he has. He has got it done. And now, does he get ahead with DRS not available for them? Yes, he does. Angie showing the power of the undercut perfectly there. Very, very good stuff. And now he is up into the net race lead once more. But he'll have to be careful because Arweb and Fexen have the hard tyres to run much, much longer. You have to be careful not to start battling each other, because they both have the same goal, to get through the rest of the field on the medium tyres in the last laps of the race. Arweb sliding off the road. Hessam and Curtis will surely be into the pits this lap. Curtis is gaining huge amounts to Hessam. It's very, very big pace deficit for the Mercedes at the moment. He really has to come into the pit lane and stays out another lap, both of them. And Hessam looks like he's committed to taking these to soft tyres. Fexen going for the lead on Arweb. No time lost battling between them two. Fexen gets a clean move up into the lead. from 11th on the grid and yet to make another stop. Angie getting a 1:17 fastest lap of the race. And Curtis passed Hessam as well. Fexin gliding his way through. Nagrom's out. Nagrom's out. VSC. Lemon onto the grass as well. VSC out on the track. Nagrom has had a bin at the final corner. Let's take a look at where his car is. Yep, he's just bounded off the barrier or something like that. So Nagrom out of the race has triggered a virtual safety car. And you know who this plays into the hands of? Fexen, Arweb, Curtis and Hessam are all going to benefit massively from this VSC. I wish I could speed up time just to see what's going to happen. I'm so excited for this. Fexen, Arweb are going to be clear race leaders at this rate. The VSC is going to let them stop for free. Oh no, it's already gone back to green flag running. VSC didn't last long enough for them. But what's going to happen now? Are they going to be into the pits? Nope, they're going to stay out. And Hessam, Curtis commit to the pit lane as we speak. So the VSC didn't stay out for long enough to make it work for them. And will there be a switch in the pits? I don't think so, but we'll find out. Hessam times it perfectly, as does Curtis. Yep. I turned in too early and hit the pit wall. It's Nagrom. What do you expect? It's Roy against Hessam. We've seen a big rivalry between these two in the past. Roy has no DRS, Hessam does have DRS, and Hessam is now going to be in direct attack range from his arch rival Roy. 6-lap tyre difference in Hessam's favour, but you never know with these guys. Roy has the skill advantage, and that might be all it needs to give Hessam an absolutely horrible time. Yeah, the Hungary pit wall. I mean, only you can relate to hitting it, Nagrom. Only you. Sorry. Hitting pit walls, your thing. And Arweb into the pits. I think Fexton stayed one lap too long. Arweb into the pit lane now to get a new set of medium boots to take him to the end of the race. Doesn't feel like I'm watching this live. It feels like I'm watching a race replay or something. Nope, it is live. This is live action. Half a second between Hessam and Curtis, and Roy can't keep up with those guys. He's falling off the gearbox. Sefa sets the fastest lap now. The better tyres is going to give him that for now, but Arweb and Fexen will surely take it back off him. And Hessam now closes in gradually. No move yet, but Curtis is wonky on the exit, and now Hessam has a chance into the next corner. No move available still. Curtis still ahead. Still ahead. Right. Oh, Angie wide off the road. He has the tyres to win the race. Does he have the skill? Right. How much time does Arweb have to gain now? Lots of time. Right. Curtis onto a set of mediums. And Fexen now responding this lap. He's gone as long as those tyres will allow him. Is it soft tyres? It's mediums. Angie will take the lead. Arjun with 1 lap pressure tyres is not going to be enough. Sefa setting another fastest lap. He's gained it twice in a row. It is really hammer time down at the regime now. And Fexen, by staying out 1 lap longer, has been undercut by Arweb, who now has 2.8 seconds to catch up to the cars on hard tyres. But I don't think the tyre advantage is going to be that big, to be honest, because the hard tyres won't be exceptionally worn. I think the undercut was the way to go at this track. Sefa having a little bit of a slide as he's now trying to keep up with Tripsy. Sefa could be on for the podium if everything goes alright. That is some really weird car physics being on display here. Not the finest work of Cody's by any means. It's so glitchy on the onboard. What is this teleportation? He's off the road again. Sefa, fresh off making a few mistakes that already cost him earlier on, doesn't want to keep making these same mistakes. Arweb's closing in. He can get a podium, but a win is going to be very difficult from here. Angie has controlled this race beautifully ever since pulling off the undercut. And now Sefa out of the final corner. He is close, and he might make a move here. We'll watch on board with the rear winger Trixie. Sefa now, can he draw alongside? No, he can't. Sefa not able to get close enough. I really thought that was going to be the move there. Almost is, with the amount of lag spikes this guy's getting. And now on the inside, they make contact. Oh, they made contact, and Trixie has had an off. Trixie has been half spun and caused by Sefa, looks like. So could be a steward thing after the race, but he hasn't been a full spin, so he might just get away with 3 seconds instead of 10 seconds, because that can just be the difference. Or 5. Depends exactly what happened. 1 lap tyre difference, and Arjun is just the slower driver on raw pace. There is no other way to explain it. He's just not as fast as Angie right now. Trixie gains to Sefa back, and it'll be this time his turn to go on the attack. Trixie keeps it narrow to the pit wall at the final corner. Hassan makes a move on Curtis. Oh, Curtis has gone onto the grass. That's why I saw grass staining on his tyres. That has caused him to lose the position to Hassan, who will now be able to maintain P7. I don't think he can go forwards from here really, because up ahead is Fexin and Arweb on better tyres. So P7 is his best case scenario. Sefa's still on for a podium depending on how his battle with Trixie fares. But it looks like Angie has the race under control up front, with the undercut being highly effective for him. Or Sefa off the road again. And Arweb is now right on the gearbox of Trixie. And McLaren team orders might come into play here. We'll watch along to see if anything happens. Fexin has caught this battle really quickly actually. Fexin is showing amazing pace. 1 lap pressure and he's already closed that gap up really quickly. So Fexin now into turn 12. How well or how badly is Trixie going to let Arweb through? Because I'd say let him pass after turn 1. That would be my way of doing it, because I want to first try catch Sefa. Nah, you can't catch Sefa now, you got to let him go. So the McLaren drivers swap their cars perfectly smoothly, and Fexin now takes the opportunity, takes the advantage, gets past Trixie. So Trixie gave that position back pretty ineffectively in the end, because Arweb and Fexin were able to get past him. And now P6 is his best case scenario, unless Sefa gets eaten alive, which is looking quite likely with the pace of the medium runners. But a podium is very likely on for them, but a win, Angie has got it undercovered right now. The gap is just hovering constantly around 1.8 seconds, and this looks to be a win where he's driven consistently. And Fexin down the inside into the chicane. What a move from Fexin. That's 2 amazing moves I've seen from Fexin this race. 1 on Hessam through the S's, and 1 into the fucking chicane with Arweb. What a move he's done there. Fexin is an absolute superstar around the Hungaroring with these overtakes. And a podium place. Oh, he's thrown it away. Oh, he's thrown it away. Just as I said that, he's thrown it away. And now he's dropped back to P6. But he has a chance to make the moves again. This time Trixie will be able to defend as he pleases. There'll be no team orders to get him out of the way this time. But the grip on that McLaren looks really poor. So Trixie will have a chance to hold off. He won't? Or he will for now. Arweb not close enough. Trixie not close enough. Fexin's not close enough either. Sefa holding on to the podium with every last bit of his might. And every lap that ticks on makes it more and more likely that he might just be able to pull this off. Sefa blasting through the high-speed corners of turn 6, turn 7. and into the chicane now, and Vexen doesn't have a chance at a move at the moment. Oliver 3 seconds. Roy into the realms of irrelevancy this race, all because he couldn't pass Nagrom. Right. R-Web has another chance to have a go at Sepher this time. This time I suspect it'll be a much easier move. Sepher's going to burn all the battery he can to try go defensive. R-Web's going to go sweeping to the outside. Is he going to let him go? Sepher goes defensive, and R-Web around the outside tags Sepher, and they've had an incident. Sepher now drops down the order, and now it's going to be Mercedes 6-7. Trixie, Vexen, R-Web in the fight for that podium now. Trixie, actually, he just has to hold off Vexen now. That's going to be much easier when he's got his McLaren teammate up ahead. So, yep, it looks... yeah, I wouldn't say it's Verstappen and Hamilton, because they went into the corner pretty evenly. There was no dive bomb move there. It was R-Web around the outside who turned in on Sepher on the inside. So, I'd say it's quite different to Verstappen-Hamilton. And it is big bit of contact that has now spiraled Sepher down the order. So both Mercedes are no man's land now. Vexen riding through, and half a second away from getting the position from Trixie. Trixie now 2/10 back, almost there but not quite there. Vexen, looks like Trixie and R-Web are free to race to the end. I think there'll be no team orders with the McLarens now. Surely not. He'll be pretty much a race ruiner for this ending if it was. Arjun's gradually closing the gap back up to Angie, but I don't think it will be enough unless he's done a really good job in the last few laps. Is it going to be like a Lando Norris Max Verstappen style? Nope, Angie has way more battery, that's why he's getting closer. So Trixie will now have a possibility to make a move on R-Web. This time I think the pendulum has swung in favour of Trixie. So R-Web will be in trouble when we get to turn 1 on the next lap, lap 23 of this race. It will be that and 2 more laps to go. If anyone pits for fastest lap now, this is the time where you would want to do it. And Trixie out of the final corner. How much battery does he have to play with? Not enough to have a go at R-Web for now. And Vexen is well clear. So Trixie is going to have a go, actually. He's going to have a go at R-Web. Is he going to get a move done? Oh, they make contact! 2 McLarens make contact! And Trixie's driven into R-Web. And now R-Web drops down the order straight into the clutches of Hessam. 2 McLarens have made contact and ruined the easy 3-4 finish they had secured just by racing each other too hard. Trixie arrived maybe out of control into the corner. Maybe that was a bit closer to Verstappen and Hamilton. And that's an incident Trixie has caused. So Trixie R-Web move has come off very poorly for McLaren cars. Ice Cream is going to be in utter shambles watching that. And R-Web is now vulnerable to both Mercedes. Lane pits for fastest lap on cue, so he will get the point for it if he gets it, because it's fastest lap top 12. And Trixie's now having Vexen covered a little bit better. Arjun's got the gap down to 1.5, 1.3, but it's not going to be enough. So Angie has the race win secure. Vexen, does he have the podium? We have 2 more laps to decide this. Vexen still has the way better tyres, and he's going to eat that gap down very quickly. Hassam's going to eat the gap down to R-Web very quickly. Is he going to go for a move? No, not quite, but the move is not too far away. R-Web going deep. Hassam gives him a little love tap. Nothing doing there. Vexen in the podium hunt still. 6 seconds Trixie and Arjun. It is strictly a battle for P3 that is going to go down to the last lap of this Grand Prix. Hessam and Arweb. Fexin is going to be pretty much Arweb's life savior for getting DRS on this lap. And Hessam could get P5 off of Arweb thanks to the contact between the McLarens very late on. Fexin gets closer, but I think his battery use is not enough. He needs to use more. Use more! He's lifted off through there. That's exactly the opposite of what he's supposed to be doing. Fexin's given up on this, or what's going on here? Fexin's given up, or what? He's making so many mistakes now. And Fexin could be vulnerable to Arweb instead. And Fexin won't be in DRS, so to the final lap of the race, Fexin's on the defensive instead. And Arweb has had his bacon saved by getting DRS. But Hessam has way more battery, so he might try a lunge down the inside. No, not yet. But then on the exit, both of them will have the DRS, but Arweb has no more battery to defend with, so Hessam now will have the go around the outside. No, he won't be able to do it. Oh, what a switchback! Oh, what a switchback! On turn 2, turn 3. Oh, what a switchback! Oh, what contact between Arweb and Hessam. Oh, more contact. It drops Arweb even further down the order. That was looking like a beauty switchback between them, but it looks like Arweb's made contact with Hessam. So Arweb is going to finish 7th in Division 3 because Arweb is shit. Fexin will be able to hold off Hessam now that there's no more DRS threats, unless Fexin makes a mistake somewhere, and he did it on the previous lap, so it is very possible Hessam's pushing this car to the absolute limits of the racetrack. He's not giving this up yet. He wants to finish as closely to Fexin as he can. And now to the final corner of the final lap. He made the undercut work perfectly for him. Angie wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Arjun comes in second. It will be Trixie on the podium. Fexin in P4. Hessam in P5. Sefer in P6. And Arweb in P7. Oh, that's close. That is very close. Oh, Curtis doing a little front wing demolition celebration over the line. Ha! Oh, EDNF. Okay. So, someone's going to reclassify Curtis. Oliver now gets P9, Roy P10. Lem will be P11, despite what it says for Curtis. Can let him get the fastest lap, though. He's going to try it on this lap. He has been trying it for the last 2 sectors, and this will now be his chance. Can he try claim it? Let him across the line. Does he get it? I'm not sure he did. We'll check. Oh wait, I need to get the results. And Lem did not get the fastest lap. He was actually 3/10 adrift. So Right, that will be race concluded, and a very eventful Hungarian Grand Prix. I'm watching Nagrom at the moment. Took himself out on the pit wall. Funny days. Right, hope you've enjoyed. See you tomorrow for Division 2, and then on Sunday for Division 1. Bye-bye.